The Tale of Kofi and the Whispering Wind. In a lively village by a winding river, there lived a boy named Kofi. He was a bright and adventurous child, always rushing through the bustling market, climbing the tallest trees, and exploring the world around him. But Kofi had one flaw that often caused trouble. He didn't like listening to his parents. "Kofi, don't play by the river without someone watching you," his mother often warned. "Why should I listen? I can swim," Kofi would reply with a cheeky grin before darting off. "Kofi, don't leave the goats alone in the field," his father said sternly. "They'll be fine," Kofi would shrug, running off to chase butterflies. Although Kofi loved his parents deeply, he always believed his ideas were better. But one fateful day, Kofi's stubbornness led him to a lesson he would never forget. Not far from the village was a mysterious forest known as the Whispering Woods. The elders told stories about mischievous spirits and strange, whispering voices dwelling there. "Stay away from the forest, Kofi. It's not a place for children," his parents always reminded him. But Kofi's curiosity burned like the midday sun. "They're just trying to scare me," he thought. "What's so bad about trees?" One afternoon, while his parents were busy, Kofi decided to ignore their warning. As excitement raced through him, he tiptoed away from the village and ventured toward the forest. The closer he got, the cooler the air became, and suddenly, the wind began to whisper, "Kofi! Kofi!" Kofi paused, his heart pounding. "It's just the wind," he told himself, forcing a nervous laugh. "I'm not afraid." As Kofi wandered deeper into the forest, shadows grew long, and the trees crowded together, blocking out the sunlight. Suddenly, a soft voice called out, "Help! Help me!" Kofi hesitated. His parents had warned him about the forest tricks, but he pushed their words aside. "I'm brave," he whispered. "I can help." In the clearing ahead, he spotted a small figure hunched over, crying. "Are you okay?" he asked. But as he stepped closer, the figure turned, revealing glowing yellow eyes in a dark, shadowy form. The creature hissed, "You didn't listen! Now you're mine!" Terrified, Kofi ran as the forest twisted around him. Paths disappeared, and the wind roared louder. "You should have listened, Kofi. You should have listened." Falling to his knees, tears streaming down his face, Kofi cried, "I'm sorry! I should have listened to my parents!" At once, the forest calmed. A breeze brushed Kofi's cheek as a voice, soft like his mother's, whispered, "Promise to listen, and we will guide you home." "I promise," Kofi stammered. "I'll listen from now on." The wind hummed peacefully, revealing a glowing path. Trembling but relieved, Kofi followed it back to the familiar fields of his village. At home, his parents embraced him tightly. "Where were you, Kofi?" his mother asked, her voice filled with worry. "I went into the Whispering Woods," Kofi confessed, hanging his head. "You were right. I should have listened." His father placed a firm but gentle hand on his shoulder. "Now do you see why we needed you to listen?" Kofi nodded solemnly. "I understand now. I'm sorry. From now on, I will listen." And he kept his word. Kofi began to respect his parents' guidance, learning that listening wasn't about fear, but about love and protection. From that day on, whenever the wind whispered through the trees, Kofi smiled, remembering the lesson it had taught him, and a promise he would never break.